Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to TEW 2020, where we are in charge of Impact Wrestling. This is only the start of the episode. I accidentally opened my mail and I found that Jack Gallagher, who was signed for one night, is already causing rifts within the company against Chris Bay due to the injury that Jack Gallagher got. I wonder how long he is out for. I don't know if whether it will tell me or not. Yeah, I don't know whether it will tell me, actually. Strong dislike of Chris Bay now, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so I don't think I'll be able to see how long he's out for at all. I won't need him back anyway, it was just a one-off, so yeah, hopefully I can resolve the risks backstage. It says here he will continue to wrestle. Unfortunately, he will continue. Brilliant. So yeah, I'll skip forward. If anything happens, I'll show you. Otherwise, we'll get straight into the show. So I just opened up the mail and there was a injury to Dez. I don't think it will have a big impact because we can prolong storylines a little. Well, we can prolong the storyline. There's a few weeks, so he should be okay. I'll just double check how long he's out for though. Yeah, it's being worked through and it's out for 26 days. So if it's 3 weeks until 3 more weeks of the shows, which is 21. So yeah, it's going to be towards the end of his thingy, and it's only a tailbone, so we should be okay. Anyway, let's get into Impact. Right, so we got quite a few backstage incidents today, so let's get through them. So first up, we got an incident between Scott D'Amore and Alex Shelley, where Scott D'Amore has been passing on psychology tips to Alex Shelley. That's really good stuff. I've got an itch on my leg. That's really good stuff. Any tips to Shelley will be great. What's to Rhino? Microphone tips to Rhino, which is great because Rhino's already good on the mic, so making him better is just always a good thing. And then RVD with Ace Austin is psychology. And then with Cousin Jake is also psychology. Brilliant stuff. It's good to have a few people passing on tips because it just brings up either your younger wrestlers or even a couple of the experienced ones. It makes them better as they deteriorate in ability. The other aspects of their game will improve, which is what you want. Right, let's book the show. Right, so I've booked the show. I don't know how this one's going to turn out. I'm not confident with this one at all. Hopefully it makes up for last week's absolute flop. I'm hoping just for that about 50 mark. We've not got many major matches in the Bound for Glory series anymore. We've got like 1 or 2 every week. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's see what happens. So we start off the show with a 49 rated segment where Moose defeated P.T. Williams with the Grain Breaker. Really good stuff there. I forgot to add the storyline onto it and have Ken Shamrock at ringside, and it still managed to do well, so that says a lot. P.T. Williams put in a decent performance of 39, Moose obviously putting in a great performance of 48, and somehow managed to do a 49 rated. Really good stuff, happy with that. Then we got a segment of 54 where Bully Ray returns looking for a title shot against Moose, but first wants a tag match on Explosion or next week. I'm pretty sure it'll be on Explosion, to be honest. It depends whether I put the tag title match on Explosion or whether I put the tag match between Moose, Bully Ray and Ken Shamrock on Explosion. I think it might have to be the tag title match, to be honest, because they're really, really bad. So yeah, it's a shame, but it's gonna probably have to happen. I'm interested to see what you guys think I should do. But yeah, Bully Ray did badly without a script, unfortunately. But yeah, at some point, either on next week's Impact or next week's Explosion, it will be Bully Ray and Ken Shamrock versus Moose and a mystery partner to decide the stipulation for their TNA title match. So yeah, good stuff. I thought I might want to tell you as well, P.T. Williams versus Moose is meant to be on the pay-per-view, but this rivalry with Ken Shamrock has done so well that I genuinely believe it will be a good match. So I'm going to put the Moose Ken Shamrock one on the pay-per-view instead. Hopefully that's the right call. Then we've got a 48 rated match where TJP defeated Doc Gallows by submission with the figure 4 deathlock. So picking up some big points. What does that leave him on now? What, that leaves him on 19 points. He's actually jumped above Gallows now. So TJP building some momentum, both with a 46. Obviously Doc Gallows had a terrible week last week in the ring, and TJP is consistently good. But yeah, really good stuff there. 48 rated match, lovely stuff. Right, then we have a segment where Stephen Amell and Scott D'Amore are talking backstage, and Stephen Amell just tells Scott D'Amore that he's not sure if he can do it anymore, and he's kind of asking, you know, do you have anyone? Do you know anyone? Do you have any contacts that, you know, I can get in contact with? He references Chris Bay and Chris Bay's frustrations, but doesn't actually address it properly, which might tick off Bay just that little bit more. We'll have to find out. And then we got a 57 rated segment where Tommy Dreamer tells Jake Crist that maybe his brother's firing showed him he's nothing without someone by his side, and maybe that is why it's ticked Jake Crist off just a little bit. Tommy Dreamer just getting into the head of Jake Crist, or at least trying to get in his head, and we're gonna have to see if it works. There's 2 more episodes of Impact before the Prelude and before Bound for Glory, so yeah, this rivalry is starting to get personal. The mentioning of his brother, it was tempting to reference more about his brother, but I thought that'd be a step too far, so I didn't. Then we've got a 56 rated match between Sami Callihan and Ace Austin, where Sami Callihan defeated Ace Austin by pinfall with a lariat. Lovely stuff here. Ace Austin and Callihan, I love both of these guys. I think they are very, very good, so it's good to see them putting in some great matches. That puts them on level points now, both on 28. So yeah, really good stuff here. Both of them doing well, both of them in my plans for the future, so that's great to see. Then we've got a 27 rated segment where Kylie Ray is talking about how she doesn't understand and wants her friend back. Yeah, this rivalry is going back on going on explosion now. Kylie Ray's just not good enough. Yeah, she's really bad on this game, really, really bad. Then we've got a 51 rated segment where Rob Van Dam calls out Eddie Edwards for cheating. He starts ripping into him. Edwards just tells him, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, especially when he's got that title around his waist. He doesn't want to take any chances, and RBD is going mad. Then we've got a 61 rated match between Miro and Carl Anderson, where Miro defeats Carl Anderson with the Muscle Buster, keeping him top of the table. He's reached 51 points now. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, Carl Anderson 48, Miro with a 62. Miro is brilliant at the moment. But yeah, that's great stuff there. 61 rated match. Lovely stuff. Then we've got a 48 rated segment where Frank Mir attacks Rhino, knocking him out before Heath returns to find Mir just laughing and saying "see you soon." So if you can't take the hint out of that one, Frank Mir is one of the participants in that 6-man match. So it's Heath, Frank Mir and James Storm all in that match, and Rhino's been taken out. Rhino was not in good shape. He got absolutely knocked out. He didn't know where he was, and Heath is naturally not only concerned for his friend, but concerned for his chances in this match with those 2 very dangerous people in that match. Then we got a 44 rated match between Trey and Brian Myers, where Trey actually defeated Brian Myers with the Yoshitonic. Trey picking up a win, going on 14 points now. That the Rascals seem to have been right. Picking up that win in that 3-on-3 match really did seem to have a positive impact on Trey. So that's great stuff to see. Brian Myers losing again. He started off the series really well, and now he's struggling to pick up some steam. Then we've got a 51 rated segment where Eric Young cuts a promo on EC3 and how he is ready until he sees in the reflection of the camera he's talking to Rick Swann in the background. When it cuts over to where Rick Swann is, he's gone. So it's Rick Swann's getting into the head of Eric Young. Eric Young's just not okay. You know, he's just said he's ready, and then things have started to tick in his head. He's clearly not okay. Are you sure you wish to continue? Yes. I've got a gimmick change for Rick Swann, but we're not going to do it yet. So Deonna Purrazzo tells Dashwood she needs to stop, needs to drop this no shit's given attitude if she's going to make it, and Dashwood just stands there. Apparently Dashwood can't just stand there because she's not good without a script when just standing still. But yeah, she's trying to put across that she just doesn't care, and you know, she's going to beat Purrazzo, but she doesn't need to say anything beforehand. So Purrazzo's starting to get a bit ticked off, this attitude of Tenille Dashwood. And then the main event of the evening isn't as good as I thought it would be. 48 rated, EC3 defeats Eric Young in 20 minutes with a sweetmeat sizzler. Eric Young obviously not okay during the match. You know, you can clearly see he's distracted and looking for Rick Swann somewhere. Eric Young 41, EC3 46. Eric Young and EC3 have no chemistry whatsoever. So that's EC3 and Miro with no chemistry, and EC3 and Eric Young with no chemistry. Oh my god. That sucks. That sucks. That really does suck. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do now with EC3. Like, I know like he's still very good, but you know, he's not got chemistry with two people I'm very interested in having in massive storylines. So if I want EC3 in massive storylines, I've then got to be careful who I put him with. That's not ideal at all. But yeah, 48 rated. Let's see what the show was. 50. I predicted it at the start. It was a 50 rated. That the women's stuff on this show didn't seem to click as it usually does. Armel is obviously the weak part on the show, but it's good to show it. Miro and Anderson putting on a great match. So did Sami Callihan and Ace Austin. EC3 and Eric Young just didn't click. If they did click, like the Miro EC3 match, would have been great, but it just wasn't meant to be. So yeah, let's finish the show there. Predicted the show rating, but it could have been better, and that's what annoys me most. Right, so that brings the Bound for Glory series and Impact to a close for this week. So let's go through the standing. I'll pull up the graphic now. There you go. Top spot is still Miro on 51, with EC3 in second with 42. Even though he's had a couple of poor matches, EC3 still doing well. Then you've got Callihan and Ace Austin, both on 28 points each. Really close between them two. Them two look like they could have some real good matches together, and a good rivalry to go with it. And then in fifth we've got Carl Anderson, who just picked up a pretty poor victory over Gallows last week and then lost this week. TJP pushing forward with 19 points, which is brilliant, so he's the closest to breaking that top 5. And then we've got 4 people on 14 points with Eric Young, Brian Myers, Doc Gallows and Trey, all on 14 points. It's very close towards the bottom of those standings, with only 7 points separating, which is literally 1 win separating bottom to 5th place, which 5th place puts you into the, best chance of getting those standings. But saying that, would you want to be in 5th place right now? could that be a tactic? You know if you finish in 5th place, that final match is the hardest one. You fit into those bottom 5, you might have an easier match. So whether that plays into what some people do, we'll have to find out. But yeah, really good stuff there. Happy-ish with the show, happier than last time. But yeah, we've got it's hotting up real fast, and that top 4 doesn't look like it's going to be broken. It could still be broken, but it doesn't look like it. Those bottom 6 are real fighting it out. But yeah, that concludes the Banff Glory Series for this week. Right, we've got another backstage incident, this time with Doc Gallows, just before Explosion. So Doc Gallows entertained the locker room by organising a poker tournament. Brilliant, improves our morale, lovely stuff. Right, I'll book the show and I'll show it to you. Right, so we booked Explosion. I'm actually probably more happy with Explosion than I am with my actual shows at the moment. But it is what it is. Let's get into it. Let's see what happens. So we start off the show with Chris Bay and telling Stephen Amell that a reference just isn't good enough. It's just not. It's not good enough. He wants to be on that main card. He wants to be properly referenced. He wants, a proper feud to get into. And then Jesus Rodriguez interrupts and gets his match. The former ring announcer of Alberto Del Rio is getting an X Division title match on Explosion. They both did really well without script, 34-8 segment, lovely stuff there. I don't know how this match is going to go, to be honest, not a clue. It could be really good, it could be rubbish. And it's a 34 rated match. Rodriguez was off his game. Chris Bay put in a great performance again, and he wins in about 10 minutes. He kind of prolongs it because, he's not happy that Rodriguez just interrupted. He's not happy with that. He didn't even issue the open challenge this week. He just wanted to have a chat, and instead Rodriguez came out. So Chris Bay wanted to embarrass him, and that's exactly what he went to do. 34 rated match, not too bad there. And then we got a 40 rated segment where Falabar and Mammon Fulton meet again in the corridor, and Stephen Amell just steps between the two and is like, right, to settle this once and for all, you two next week, last man standing. So it might not be the last match between all 4 of the, as in TJP, Falabar, Mammon Fulton and Ace Austin, but he wants it to be definitive that is the last match between these two for a while. They keep going at it week in, week out. They keep debating who's the best. So last man standing next week, that will decide it. 40 rated segment there. Then we got a 42 rated segment where the Desi Hit Squad lost to Willie Mack and the Motor City Machine Guns when Willie Mack pinned Raj Singh with the Chocolate Thunder Driver. Willie Mack returned. I've not known what to do with Willie Mack for a while, so why not insert him weirdly into this feud? And they needed a mystery partner. Why not give him a very good mystery partner in Willie Mack? Yeah, the Desi Hit Squad are terrible, whereas Willie Mack, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley were great. So Shera and Gamma Singh have excellent chemistry together apparently. Good for them. But yeah, 42 rated match, pretty good stuff there. Then we have a 46 rated segment where Jordan Grace calls out Madison Rayne and wants a match at the Prelude. Before Madison Rayne can even say a word or even answer, Grace grabs the mic and leaves. Very much, if you remember, it's referencing very intently referencing when Madison Rayne offered her services to Jordan Grace and Jordan Grace said no. It's the same thing. This time it's to do with a match between these two. 46 rated segment. The crowd seemed to have loved the fact that I referenced something previously. And then the main event was, oh boy, The main event was Havoc versus Johnny Bravo. It could have been. I knew it might have been bad, and it was. Johnny Bravo 18, Havoc 36. Havoc took a stump bump during the match, so obviously Johnny Bravo is probably climbing up the cage, and then Havoc's probably taking a bump off of it. But yeah, wasn't the best match in the world, but I didn't think it would be. But Havoc got her wish. She got Johnny Bravo in the cage. Then we've got a segment where Havoc tells them to keep the cage down and is verbally berating the people at ringside to tell them to keep the cage down, and she just destroys Bravo. They've got chairs, kendo sticks, everything that was brought in during the match, and she's just wailing on Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo is laid out. He's battered, he's bruised, he doesn't look in good shape. His glasses have almost ripped his face to shreds because they're just everywhere. Yeah, Havoc has completed her heel turn right there. That is a full-on heel turn for Havoc. Brilliant stuff there. Happy with that. But that now means, because Johnny Bravo stepped in the cage, that means that Valkyrie and Rosemary do get Havoc. They get Havoc in a tag match soon. So yeah, whew, lovely stuff. Yeah, what's the show like this week? 34. That sounds about right. I'm happy with that. I love the storylines, the weaving in and out of storylines, the continuation constantly, that everything on every show matters. I love that, and yeah, so the shows aren't top tier, but they're good enough. So yeah, that concludes this episode. Put anything down in the comments below. Hit that like button if you like this video and still enjoying this series. Subscribe if you're new here. And I shall see you in the next episode. See ya!